We're not quite up because I've got other stuff I've got to start up a minute, but I think it's actually my SDR play causing the problem. Because look, the SDR play isn't working again. I think the SDR play's like shorting something out on the USBs. I don't think it's the rig. It wasn't smelling that time. Yeah, the SDR play isn't working again. And I heard it click that time. That's the only common factor, is that isn't come back up. Have I still frozen? Can you hear me or not? Can you hear me? Right, there we go. Yeah, the freaking computer, I think it's ridiculous, isn't it? I really don't want to build another PC. Welcome back. Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know what's causing it. It's really doing my nut in. I've given it a blow through. Now I've got no SDR. I actually think it's that that's causing the problem. I think it's the SDR that's causing the problem. I mean, we'll soon find out when I got my new one, won't we? I just need to try and get it to redetect it now. I'm trying to find... Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to scan for new devices and hope that it comes back. Right, so now if I stop Station Master and restart it, maybe we'll get the SDR playback. Yeah. Trying to get the there we go. Yeah, I think it's the SDR short. I think it's that. I think the SDR's got an issue. Three times it keeps deleting. What if I missed third time? What? Why won't it let me reply? I don't know, what are you saying? You saying naughty things. You trying to get Mank to strip again on camera. Yeah, dirty emojis, exactly. That's what she's doing. At least Leanne had fun on the stream last night. Mike 0, Oscar Mike Tango. Mexico Mexico 0, Oscar Mike Tango, over. Mexico Oscar Mike Tango. Where is Stuart? Where is Stuart anyway? He hasn't read my message from earlier. I sent him a WhatsApp like at 6 o'clock. He's not read it yet, and he always reads it. Especially his little. Did you see his video today? He's on radio, and I'm talking about doorbells. Mexico 0, Oscar Mike Tango. Mexico 0, Oscar Mike Tango. Mexico 0. Hi Nelson, sorry I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying then, I apologise. Antenna Mobile, 40 metre name, TKSPY2PF. Apologies, I was not being deliberately ignorant now. I was kind of half distracted. I kind of saw what you wrote. PY2PF. PY2. So you're on 40 metres at the moment? What frequency are you on? What frequency are you on there? Try and behave. Alright, mate. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Should we try and get you? What frequency are you on, dude? Alright, LA. Not the background, man. I was selling it in the foreground. Stuart was just a, you know, an assistant to my show. You know, we just basically moved to his cameras, that's all. Just so I could go upstairs and, you know, be a little bit more interactive. Just so we could get a bit of stream on there, you know. I'm available to go on your gaming feeds as well if you want, mate. It's no problem. I've got a Twitch account. I can come on. And we can... I do make money off of everything. I mean, while we're on the subject of making money off of anything, if we just quickly I mean, if anybody's interested in buying any football stickers, I mean, if you've got a particularly favourite team that you know isn't on there, I'm quite happy to do them. Please be aware though that these are not originals; they are close facsimiles. Any copyright remains with the original owners. So if you do like a football sticker to put on your car, then hit me up. You know. Mike 7 Whiskey Lima Oscar. Whiskey Lima Oscar Henry. Whiskey Lima Oscar. Hope you're okay. Over. Yeah, I got you 5 and 7, but you sound like you're a 5 and 11. You're nice and clear. Modulation's brilliant, to be honest, man. You're getting out really well. I hope you're having a good evening over there. And where are you? Netherlands. The Netherlands, is that right? Over. Yeah, that is Roger. And if you want all information is on my newest QRZ page. There you find all information about my family and working conditions. Work with DHCC, etc. All information is there with not too many pictures. See if you like. Thank you for the call. M7WLO and I hope to meet you again. M7WLO BD7P. Bye-bye. Yeah, I've got you there, Henry. I'm 56 myself and a fella baldy, no hair. So you have a good session this evening and hopefully catch you again. 73, so over. Look at his posh little icon up in the corner, look. This 991 is growing on me. I have to say, this 991 is growing on me. Yeah, I kind of like it now. I mean, this is the 991 that I'm running. What I'm tending to do now is put one on 7 and one on 14. The noise filter is not that bad, really. Is that his daughter? So he wants you to, if you want a QSL card from him, you've got to pay for it. And yet you can send him one for free. More about the new rig. I can't really, can I? Because I can't really put the camera on it. That's the problem. I need to... oh, can I? Can I put a new camera on it? I mean, we've still got the rig. Let's see if I can do it with the phone. Hang on. Oh, he's in Birmingham. Stu's alive and he's in Birmingham. Well, I like the clarity. I do like the clarity. It's starting to come into its own. Let me just see if we can get Camo Studio up a second. Hang on. me a second. Camo Studio. Come on. It's not connecting for some reason. Oh, I know why it's not connecting, because I'm not opening the app. Let's try again. Here we go. He knows it's a 991. He's giving me something to talk about. Shut up, Mank. It's just jealous, isn't he? It's just jealous, Bam Bam. It's just jealous. Right, hang on. Let's get rid of Chrome. And then let's put on Camo Studio. Oh my god, it's right in my face. Can't use that. How do I I forgot how to turn it over. Hang on. Right, okay, here we go. Here we go, look at this. This is what you call interactive. This is what you call interactive TV. So this is the new tuner I've ordered. The Mat30. Shut up, man. I'm already there, man. Blimey, do you not? Oh, hang on. Have we got a microphone? We have got a microphone. That's good. At least we've got a microphone. You can hear me, right? Yeah. So this is the new Mat30. So you can see it's quite small, quite a small tuner. It's an auto tuner, but its bandwidth is really narrow, right? So if I go to a frequency that we've not been to, so I'm actually going to go off band just so that we can break it. Right, so we're off band. Right, so it's because it's not been tuned on this frequency before. You can hear the radio's just gone dead. All the waterfall's dropped off. So you kind of have to flick through with this tuner through the frequencies that you use, and then it will remember the channels. So you have to like go every 10 megahertz and tune it in when you first get it, which is a bit of a pain in the rear. But once I worked out that's what was going on, it was quite simple. So I kind of need a stand. I'm holding this. So I've kind of found a way to use this waterfall in that you can't move very easily because it doesn't lock. You see, it's moving the whole of this red bar along rather than moving the line. But if you wait for it to get into a position where you can see stuff and press sweep, you can now lock the band, and now you can move the arrow to where the signals are. So you have to move the line when the band's locked, you know, when the sweeper's locked. So it's workable. It's not as good as the 710, but it's certainly not as bad as I first thought it was. So not only that, we also have DNF and DNR. Now, the other day, I had a really bad whistle on the band, right? And DNR wasn't getting rid of it, but DNF was. So, see if we can hear a difference. No. Basically, the DNF is digital noise filter, and the other one's digital noise reduction. Or, yeah, is it digital noise reduction? But the DNF basically gets rid of, like, car whistle and stuff like that. I can see my camera in front of me, like, oh yeah, look, it keeps coming up red. Yeah, so DNF is actually a really good filter for like whistles and stuff, which I don't think it exists on the 710 in the same way. So that's quite good. When it's blue on here, it's basically showing that everything's in there. You can switch your meter to SWR, which is what I have there, and you can do your compression, your VDD, your power output, ALC. And then the menus on this, I know it's not staying in focus. I know it's not staying in focus, which is not great, is it? Let's try and do that. So the monitors on here are not anywhere near as intuitive as the 710, but once you kind of get used to, you've got these two buttons up here. This one does like the immediate use menus, and then this one does like the settings, like overall, that just sort of stay there. So you kind of have to, you know, you can go up and down there with this and then press select and go through them. But the display isn't nowhere near as nice as the isn't anywhere as near as nice as the 710. The 710 is a beautiful radio, and when they come out the equivalent of the 991A in the format of the 710, it's honestly, that is going to be a beautiful radio. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You can tell when my 710's on. What if you watch my background now? Just give it a second. So when the 710's on, I've got the blue bar going behind me. And when it's off, obviously, it goes to that multicolored screen. So sometimes I turn it off. Just if I'm sort of seeing any kind of disruption against the filter, even though they're pretty well shielded, if I see anything kind of bleeding in, I just take it off, just to be safe than sorry. You have the 710 and mine looks complicated. Do you know what? The 991 is more complicated than the 73. However, let me show you. Let me put this back on again. I've got to put the 710 on, but let's show the 710. Hang on, Camo Studio. So that's the 991, and then the 710's down here. Now you can see immediately you've got very similar to the Icom 73. You've got the ability. This is what the Icom 73 waterfall looks like, isn't it? You know, it's half and half. Whereas I haven't seen it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but I haven't seen the ability to do this on the 73 in all the videos I've watched. But you can pretty much make your waterfall a lot bigger, which is much more usable in my opinion. And if the 73 does it, brilliant, you know. Yeah, the DNR on the Yaesus really kicks the Icoms into touch, unfortunately. Their SDR digital noise filtering, you don't understand. I mean, I had the Icom 71 right up until a week ago, 7100 up until a week ago, and it's chalk and cheese. It honestly is. It's chalk and cheese. But so the menus on this one slightly different. You've got very similar now. I know yours are bigger buttons and there's fewer screens and they're like sub-menued. This isn't sub-menued. This is basically all here for your immediate use stuff. So your immediate use stuff is on this display. And then you have sub-menus down here, like for more permanent settings. So like SSB, AM, Mode FM. This is way easier to understand than the 991. So CW settings with a keyer, operational settings, so your TX audio, general, tuning, etc. You know, that they're not very big. It's just like, these are more like permanent settings, you know. It's just to sort of like tweak it in for your use. External tuner line port select, okay. Display settings like for your scope and stuff is all kind of put on here. You can change your sensitivity and stuff. But I will admit, your 73, the menus do look a lot simpler because they're bigger buttons. And if you've got bad eyesight like I have, I think I can see the advantages 100%. You know, I think they're a lot better. But yeah, I think there's pros and cons for both of them. You know, I think the sound, the transmission sound on the Icoms is a lot punchier, and to get to that same level on a 71, you've kind of got to do a lot of tuning, whereas the 71's output is a lot punchier on you know, out of the box. It's a lot better, and to get the same off the Yaesu, you kind of got to work around with a few settings. I was very lucky. There's a guy that comes in this stream called Fred, and he's got his set up lovely, so my 710 is set up a treat. And but I think there's swings and roundabouts for both. I think, you know, Yaesu used to be a secondary brand, didn't it? You know, it used to be a secondary brand, and I think they're both on par in different ways. You know, I think if you had a radio taking the best of both of these radios now, nobody would be able to compete with them in their current format, because the Yaesu's digital noise reduction is just amazing. And the way it can quiet a band and quiet the sound and clear out all the background static to almost feel like you're watching BBC is just astounding, really. And it does it so simply, you know. But I'm not bad-mouthing an Icom at all in any way, shape or form. And I'm not saying the Yaesu is better. I just think, personally, having used both, not having used a 7300, but having watched loads of videos before I bought, the DNR is something that's really important, you know, to me. But what is important to me is not what is important to other. And I think we go out and we buy radios based on personal choice, don't we? If I'd had the choice now between going out and buying the Icom 71 and the Icom and the Yaesu 991, I would do the 991, you know, purely because I know for me the waterfall is really valuable. But that said, I'm not really using the waterfall, as you see, when I'm in stream. But I didn't have that option when I only had one antenna. You know, when I only had one antenna, having the waterfall on the radio was something that was vital. But now I've got like an antenna out there that's pretty damn good, to be honest, this HF vertical, and I can just dedicate this waterfall to it. It probably isn't as important as it was, you know. So yeah, 7300, fantastic rig. Yaesu 710, fantastic rig. 991, do I think it's as good as a 710? No, I don't. I don't think it's as good. But it's an all band, you know. So because it's an all band, it's better because of that. You know, if I had to go and take one on holiday with me and I could only take one, I would of course take the 991 because I've got all the bands. But if I was just doing HF and going out to do POTA or something, which I haven't done yet, so I'm in no position to quote, I would take the 710 because it's so much cleaner on the sound. So yeah. Yeah, having a waterfall. Absolutely. Having a waterfall. I mean, Mank, who's here talking to me, he got me to get this 710 because he's got one, and I have not looked back one day since I've owned it. It's totally transformed my experience, just having, you know, the ability to scan the signals and to find everything. I think it's you know, that it's game changer, isn't it? Having SDR is purely game changer. Well, it takes everything out of the guesswork, doesn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think if we could get the best of both radios, Paul, I think you're right. It would be you don't want more. I mean, even this new blooming Icom they've come out with, you know, they're sticking like a premium of like £800 so you can have 100 watts. It's like, what are they on? The 100 watts is like, oh mate, it's not worth that sort of money, is it? We all know how much a 100 watt amp costs, and let's face it, it's only on a card, so maybe twice the price of what it costs for a 100 watt amp. And they're charging how much to make it a you know, the extreme version or whatever it's called? It's ridiculous. Yeah, the 710 is just HF, which is pretty much all I work. But having the 2m77s is gonna, you know, come into its own when we're doing other stuff. And I do kind of listen to it sometimes. I do put the call-in channel on occasionally and leave it on in the day. The other thing that the 991's got is airband. So I can't show it again, but there is an airband button on it. So yeah, you could go and listen to airband on the 991. I don't know if we're going to find anything on it now, but we can have a quick. I can have a quick look, see if there's anything obvious. Band. Trying to remember where it is. Air. Here we go. So let's just switch the sweep on. I mean, it's on AM. I'm not sure yet, you know, that it's going to pick anything up, but I'll leave it on there for a second. I'll just keep an eye on the scope and see if anything pops up. So yeah, the 991 does have airband. So I'm just trying to find something. nothing on. It's not. The thing is, this antenna is not really built for. Who's that? Who was that? Who was that? Who's Shaka Khan and me? Caroline. Hello, Caroline.
Oi, oi.
You'd think it would be picking it up, wouldn't you? Because I'm just going to put the scanner on a minute.
Oi, oi.
And see what's going on. If there's like any active bands. One 129.425. 129.425. Right, I'm just going to try and go there actually, because that isn't on the Yasu, by the way. Hang on, something might be coming in here. Let me turn that one down. The only problem, it takes so long to get there. Oh, hang on, I forgot I can do this. 121.9, oh sugar. 121.925. Enter. We'll see if it does come, if anything does come in. There you go. That's on the Yasu. So as you can't scan, that's the issue, isn't it? Hopefully that'll come back in. So that's coming through the gate. So what it does let you do though is, whilst it doesn't let you scan like the band as such, it does let you scan pre-programmed frequencies like you would do with a scanner, you know, when you've got them all programmed in. So if you were to go onto the radio and install the app, you know, the software, and install all the frequencies in there, you can actually scan through the channels. So it does let you do it does let you scan the channels, but it doesn't let you scan a frequency like you would do with a standard scanner. But then who does scan frequencies? I know I don't. Bam Bam, you know, I scan known channels on my scanner. I think you're the same. I mean, that's what the other scanner's doing. That's why it's so quick at doing it, isn't it? It's scanning known airport scanners. Like if I turn the other scanner on now, it'll find something within seconds. So that's London Control Southeast. Southeast again. Obviously I'm not going to run this for too long because we know we're not allowed to do it really. So, but I just wanted to show that, you know, you can do that on the 991, which is like a good little compromise. Best part of the hobby. Right, where are we? Band is round though, isn't it? a bit slow, isn't it? We'll just turn the direct feed off. Yeah, you're not allowed to onward transmit radio signals not meant for you, if that makes sense. You can listen to it, we can legally listen to it, but I can't retransmit it. Thanks, Fred. Again, from the hammer. Right, what's the time? Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I've got to go because I've got 2 orders to get out, and I don't want to be doing that past 10 o'clock. So I'm going to call it a day there, which is a shame really, because there's like 10 of you in here at the moment, which is unusual for me, isn't it? So thanks for hanging around. I'm not saying thanks for hanging around for Leanne, because she's only just got her backside back in here. But yeah, to everyone else, who are we going to watch now? I've gone. I don't know. Stuart, you going to stream? Fred, you going to stream? Anyone? Nobody else going to stream?
Oi, oi.
Nobody wants to watch me do stickers, do they? And I'm not doing radio, so I don't want to bore you while I do stickers. So I shall, yeah, Foxtrot Oscar, as soon as I find my buttons. Exactly, no. F off. Thanks, Fred. Get yourself a DMR radio. Get yourself a DMR radio and get your license sorted out, Bam Bam, and then we can watch you. You know what I mean? We can watch you, Bams. Cheers. When did Kent just pop in from? Cheers, Kent. How long have you been in here? I didn't even see you in there. Have you just arrived? You must have just arrived, haven't you? You have just arrived. I was just going, Kent. I'm ever so sorry, man, but thank you for the rose. And yeah, I'm going in 5 and 4, 3, 2. There's a voice keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I want to be. Every step I take, I make a good friend. Maybe tomorrow.